Welcome back. It's Doug MPA, and welcome to my live stream. I should be sounding okay because I figured out the reason why all of my streams I sounded like T-Pain starting out. So, um, what you call it? Voice mod does a lot of updates, and for some reason, my voice mod, whenever it does an update, it puts the voice changer thing on. So let me know if I sound okay, everybody. I should, and if I ever do, it's because voice mod did I do a voice mod my soundboard, and it updated and turned the voice changer thing on. So let me see. Yeah, I should be sounding good. Okay, so make sure to like the video, subscribe on the way in. I'd really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And guys, I have a video dropping tonight about if you guys have been following me long enough, who did I say eventually was gonna lose weight? Who did I say? You guys remember? It's just a matter of time. Lizzo. That's right. Um, Lizzo has lost maybe like 70, 80 pounds or something like that. So I have a video about that dropping at midnight where we can see her weight loss journey. Guys, you, you, you knew it was gonna happen. Lizzo was a smooth 320 pounds. You cannot be walking around 5'7", 5'8", like she was, 330 pounds. So look out for that video at midnight tonight. Rage Gamer, good to see you. Colin, good to see you. Conquering Wander, good to see you. I might go live a couple days this week because AJ's on vacation, and I actually have a lot of stuff that I can talk about. So let me see if I can research a show for Thursday and Friday. Anyway, so yeah, you see the title, guys. I'm gonna do a compilation of women that hate their husbands uh, playing video games, and then I thought about, women don't like men's hobbies. Period. Why do women feel like they have to be in competition with a man with his hobbies? So we're gonna focus mainly on video games. I might do another one with sports or WWE or UFC or whatever, but this is mainly on video games. Okay? Because you see all sorts of stuff on social media. I hate that my husband plays video games. I hate, I want to spend the day together with my husband. Colin, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm talking about women that can't stand men's hobbies, and this is going to be particularly about video games. So, guys, don't stop your hobbies because of a woman. Now, you may have to do them less, but guys, there are women out there that say, "Oh yeah, a guy that plays video games gives me the ick." Yeah, well, that guy was playing video games long before you. He's gonna play video games long after you're gone. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And let me know what you think about this, Colin, in the chat. One of the reasons why men play video games or young boys, you see a lot of middle-aged high school boys obsessed with video games. It's because it is the last vestige of masculinity where men can express their masculinity. Uh, uh, think about this: competition, leaderboards, talking trash. You can see who's the best. Video games. Where else in society, Colin, can men express their masculinity or masculine traits in society like they can playing video games without being punished?
Pretty much nowhere, really.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I
So
can't think. Yeah, I can't think of in terms of like actual in-person uh event. Yeah, no, I seriously I can't think of anything. No, yeah.
yep, yeah. It's true that that's why a lot of elementary school, middle school, high school boys, they literally have to keep it together, sit in school like girls, not moving, not talking until they get home and they can play video games. You guys see that even in California, California isn't going to let boys play football until high school. What the heck is that about?
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, the way that kids' sports have been so, demasculated. you can't even count that anymore. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow,
Yep,
wow.
it's true. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this multiple times in the stream. I'm gonna say it right now. Um, Women are like, oh yeah. Well, first off, guys, a lot of women are boring. They're just boring. Number one. Number two. Um, uh, Here's how a conversation and tell me if I'm telling any lies. Here's how a conversation goes with a woman who wants you to get off your video game. Honey, get off the game. I want to do something. Let's spend time together. Okay. Okay. What do you want to do? I don't know. You think of something. That's her first mistake. Because if she's gonna pull you off the game, she needs to have something comparable or greater than that. Number one. Number two. Okay, honey, let's go. Let's go to the park. I don't want to do that. Let's go. Let's go get something to eat. Uh, where do you want to go? Let's go to Chili's. I don't want to go there. Let's go walk the dog. I don't want. It's like I want to play my video game.
Yeah.
And one last thing, I'm gonna say this multiple times too. These women who have men who play video games all the time, they have to ask themselves, they should ask themselves, why am I so boring or why am I so horrible to be around that my significant other wants to play video games all the time? They never ask themselves this question. When a woman doesn't want to have sex with a man, they always say, well, you need to get her excited, guys. What are you not doing to arouse her? Yeah, well, what do you do? What are you not doing that makes you want to get on my video game? How about that? Video games are for besides expression of masculinity, video games are escapism for a lot of guys. And why does that guy in your life, ladies, have to escape from you? Tell me I'm lying.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right.
So, have you ever had a woman call in to tell you, "I don't want you to do your hobbies"? Any of them?
No, not really, because the last time I actually had a woman, it was so long ago that back then I was working so much I didn't really have any time for hobbies. So, um, uh, um, yeah. So, yeah. And then, of course, high school. Well, the only hobby really in high school was a whole lot of reefer madness. But
Okay. Okay. Well, guys, I always start my show off with the crime files. These are videos of women who have committed, no, have been arrested for, are being prosecuted for, or have been convicted of various crimes. So I'm going to cover two quick ones. So we're going to get to these two, and then we're going to get into the main meat of the podcast. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and drop a super chat if you would. I'd appreciate it. And let's get into this first one, you guys. This one's really, really sad. There we go.
After years of police work, authorities say they made 2 arrests tied to the death of a National Guard soldier. This case dates back 5 years, and 10 News reporter Sarah Ottman joins us with a major turn in this murder case tonight. Sarah.
Yeah.
So this case happened back in 2019, you guys.
John, Jacob Bishop was tragically killed on October 1st of 2019 in Lenore City. This case has been worked on every day since then.
We've been working on it from that first day. We've been working it constantly.
After 5 years of an ongoing investigation, justice may finally be served.
After good, hard police work, he's finally been able to solve this case and get 2 indictments returned on 2 of our suspects for the murder of Jacob Bishop.
Jacob Bishop was found dead at his home in 2019 after suffering multiple gunshot wounds. Now his wife and her cousin are behind bars, charged with first-degree murder.
Uh-oh. Now, guys, try and guess why his ex-wife and cousin put him in the ground. You guys already know. What would be the reason why? Try and guess.
he got himself a younger, hotter chick.
No. Try and guess. Anyone in the chat? Custody battle. Most of the time, you guys. Most of the time, it's a custody battle. If the woman is still alive and the father's not here anymore, it's usually because of a custody battle. It's either that or the insurance, one of the two. Oh my.
Amanda Bishop is our victim's wife. That they were going through a divorce and a heated custody battle.
There you
we
go.
believe that's what led to his homicide.
With advancements in technology and the help of multiple law enforcement agencies, the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office was able to identify the suspects.
Phones are one of the biggest holders of information.
Guys, so I've watched a lot of these types of cases. Don't do anything like this. That is my disclaimer. But if you're dumb enough to try something like this, leave your phone at home. Because no, seriously, they will ping the tower. They will ping. They will see what cell phone tower your cell phone's pinging off of.
Yeah.
Yep. Carlos X, good to see you, my friend. Oh yeah. Racy Gamer brought up a good point. Women should love video games. They can just get onto Twitch and get plenty of attention, even for playing badly. Guys, could you imagine the damage any of us could do if we could keep our brains, but go back to like 18 years old and become a freaking girl that's a 9 or a 10? You know how much damage I could do out here, man. I'd be on Twitch. I'd be like that Amaranth girl who makes $7 million a year off of simps on Twitch.
Oh yeah,
that would totally be me, dude. That would totally be me, 100%.
Dude, I remember as quite a few years ago, I worked with a guy, and we were pretty good work buddies, and we would always talk about stuff, and I remember telling him very explicitly that if I had been born a hot chick, I would have been ruling the planet years ago.
Yeah. Yep. I always say that, man. I don't understand why these beautiful women want to fight in the world of men when they can find some dude to just give them the world. Or guys, I'm from Western Washington, the land of beautiful women who make themselves ugly to fight the patriarchy, or
Right.
beautiful women who don't want to leg up on their fellow women, so they make themselves ugly, cut their hair off, shave the side of their head, purple hair, septum rings, tattoos, piercings everywhere. So if you were to get rid of all that crap, you'd be fine as hell. I don't want to be the male gaze. Come on now, get out of here.
Once we get those returns, a lot of evidence comes back about critical articles that we need to be able to bring prosecution.
Bishop's mother was the one to discover his body. She never gave up hope that justice would one day be served.
That same person be able to say thank you. I knew it would finally get solved, and we were just able to give her that news today. It was very satisfying and very good for all around.
Now, the suspects are being held at the Loudoun County Detention Center and are facing charges including first-degree murder. We'll continue to provide updates as the case progresses. John.
Sarah Ottman with
and
the
they
very
got
latest.
They got away with that for 5 years, you guys. 5 years. Oh my goodness. All I gotta say about that is
Jesus ain't right.
Come on now. All right, and then this other one here. This guy. Woman tries to run boyfriend over with car en route to couples therapy session.
Jesus ain't right.
A 30-year-old Minnesota woman is in custody after an incident on the way to couples therapy. Veronica Rolene Gass was arrested for second-degree assault, criminal vehicular operation, bodily harm, gross negligence, and domestic assault, according to an affidavit obtained by Crime Online. Gass was driving to a couples therapy appointment with her boyfriend when the incident occurred on Wednesday. Before the incident, Gass and her boyfriend had been a couple for about 1 year. According to Crime Online, while driving on the way to the therapist, Gass' boyfriend announced he was breaking up their relationship and requested to be taken home. So Look at those crazy eyes, you guys.
Jesus H. Christ.
Look at that. Look at her face. No remorse, no nothing. At least she's not. What makes a mugshot like this worse, guys? When they're smiling or when they're looking like this? What's worse?
I think when they're smiling.
Because she looks like she looks possessed right here, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So it said, Gas then allegedly suddenly stopped her car and demanded her boyfriend exit the vehicle. According to the affidavit obtained by Crime Online, the victim, her boyfriend, passed in front of her car to get to a nearby sidewalk. When her boyfriend passed the front of the vehicle, Gas allegedly made eye contact before hitting the gas pedal in an attempt to run him over. According to the affidavit obtained by Crime Online, he then smashed into the windshield after rolling across the hood of the vehicle. He shattered the windshield, lacerating his right elbow in the process. The defendant admitted that as she was pulling away, she hit the victim with her vehicle. The defendant then said she slowed down and stopped to call the police. Oh, how good of her to hit him and then call the police and actually stay. That's what goes for decent behavior nowadays, I guess, right? The defendant said she was in shock at hitting the victim, so she did not stop right away, but let off the gas. Telling you guys, this is women right here. And the reason why I always start my streams like this or do these videos on my channel is we still have this visceral reaction when women commit various crimes. We still have to try to give women the benefit of the doubt. Well, how could she do something like that? Or they would say, in this instance, well, what did he do to make her hit the gas and run him over like that? What did he do? What did he do? Even this one, where this National Guardman was taken out. We have to understand her motivations because she's a mom, or he must have been abusive in their marriage, something like that, guys. No, I argue in 2024, women have as much, if not more, of a proclivity to commit evil acts because women have been empowered, they're strong, independent, but no one holds them accountable. If you know that you're not going to be held accountable, of course you're going to do crazy stuff, right?
Yeah.
Tell you, Jessica, good to see you, my friend. The gang's shuffling in here. All right, so we're going to start this with, guys, if you ever want to get a laugh, go to yourtango.com. Any site that has love, quotes, zodiac, horoscope, heartbreak across the top, you know exactly what you're getting into, right? So it says women reveal 8 bizarre male hobbies they consider major deal breakers, right? So, okay, guys, put what you think that some of the 8 are going to be in the chat, okay? Because while we're reading the introduction, it says, how we spend our free time says a lot about us. What we enjoy can also have a huge impact on the people that we date, especially when your hobbies are as unique as some of these deal breakers. Find out what these ladies had to say about what they just won't stand for when it comes to dating a man with peculiar hobbies and why. So, guys, I'm going to say sports are on there. I'm going to say some kind of sci-fi, so like Star Wars or Star Trek, something like that. I'm going to say model figurines. Gambling has to be on there because, but gambling is actually valid. What else, Colin? What else would be a toxic hobby that are deal breakers for a woman?
Oh, definitely beer drinking and working on your car. And
okay, those are good ones.
Yeah, and oh gosh, I just thought of it and it already escaped my mind. Oh, fishing. Fishing. Women hate fishing. They can't stand it.
Let me. Oh yeah. Yep. And fishing's one of the best things ever, man. Conquering Wanderer. You can only share an article link if you're a mod. So what you can do is click on the StreamYard link, right? And you don't have to come into the show, but drop the article link in the private chat. You'll see private chat on the side. Click on that and drop it in there, and then I'll bring it up. Okay. So click on the StreamYard link at the top of the chat. You don't have to come in, but just hit the private chat button on the right side and drop the article in the private chat. Okay. Okay. So he says, so it says, Jessica says Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons. Razy Gamer says Japanese robots. Carlos says, yep, the pew pews and cars.
Yeah.
Jessica says Warhammer 40K, Japanese animation and comics, any type of sport, magic tricks. Guys, do you know anyone who does magic tricks? Anyone?
No.
I can't believe that there are enough guys out there that women would say, ew, magic tricks. Come on now. Really? And then, hey, actually, Jessica, so I don't know if you saw what's happening with 40K, but they're trying to rainbow up 40K and make it more appealing to modern audiences. You know what that means? Yeah, look at all the changes to 40K, man. even Henry Cavill's like, nah, bro, this is getting crazy. So, all right, let's get to the list. Wait, what? Stuffing dead animals? I only have one hobby-related deal breaker: taxidermy. I don't mind if he hunts, just don't put the kill on display at the house. She must live in like Montana or something, or Idaho.
Yeah.
Come on now, really? So, and I think she's capping, dude. I don't think that she's ever met a guy that is actual taxidermy. Come on, man. Really? Seriously? Says playing video games 24/7. I hate video games. If you play every once in a while, it's no big deal. But if you play every day or regularly, then forget it. I want to date a man, not a 15-year-old high school student. There it is, guys. There it is. That's what women think. Guys, if you play video games and a woman has the nerve to say, I don't want you to play video games, say, you know what? How about you? I'll stop playing video games as long as you can keep from scrolling on Instagram and on TikTok. How about that? How about that? Right? See how long it'll last. Because guys, what's the average? Let me see. What is the average amount that an American woman spends on her phone? Oop. So the average woman spends 5.5 to 6.25 hours a day on her phone.
Wow.
Come on, guys. Come on. Yeah. So next time a woman tries to tell you, Carlos X, don't play video games. Jessica, freaking, don't read or listen to or play with your 40K stuff. Say, you know what? I'll go as long as you can without scrolling on your phone. It's not the same thing. It is the same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You best believe that.
Yeah.
You can also say, hey, I don't want to, I want a woman, not a little girl who spends 5.5 hours a day on her phone. How about that? It says video games should be reserved for kids, not men. If you have time to play video games, you have time to find a more mature and maybe productive hobby. And that's why Nicole is going to die alone. Obsessing over Star Trek, guys. I knew it. I knew something was in here. If the guy is at all into Star Trek, especially if he goes to conventions, so that's the opposite of sexy and a huge deal breaker for me. I don't think I could take him seriously ever again if I saw him in Spock ears. Okay. I think she has something going with the Spock ears thing, but anything short of that should be acceptable, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, man. Just so you know this, guys, one of the most unique things about Dante's Inferno Purgatory is here. Whiteout is here. I don't like Star Trek the original series, but Star Trek was the first depiction of humans in space where there wasn't some kind of conflict. Humans had ascended race, money, war, and were literally explorers. It was one of the first depictions of space on TV where humans were trying to conquer somebody or we weren't trying to be conquered.
Yeah.
Yep. Are you a Star Wars guy, Colin, or a Star Trek guy?
Oh, dude, I'm a Trekkie all the way, man, all the way.
Bro, my background noise when I'm working, Paramount Plus, Next Generation, DS9, and Voyager, man.
Nice, good.
I'm telling you, man. I was just watching that episode of DS9 where you remember when Garrick and Worf went to the Gamma Quadrant because they got that transmission from that Jim Hadar prison, and then Worf, and then Worf had to fight those eight Jim Hadar in a row, and Martok was like, 7 battles and 7 victories. What warrior could have done as well? That was great. I'm telling you, man. And then one of the best parts about DS9 was Benjamin Sisko was a single father, a single black male father with a great relationship with his son. When's the last time you saw that on TV, huh?
Yeah. Boy,
you know what I'm saying?
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? You know, a lot of people in a lot of Trekkie communities, a lot of people actually are very they strongly believe that Sisko was actually the best captain in all of Star Trek.
I believe that. I believe it 100%. Yeah, because he had the hardest role. First off, there's no reason for him to have been a commander first. That shit still pisses me off. But like, if you think about, he had to navigate the politics around two different quadrants. He had the whole religious aspect where he was the emissary, and the Bajorans were a bunch of religious sensitive snowflakes. So he had to freaking navigate that. He knew when to fold. He knew when to push forward, all while being a single dad.
Yeah,
Benjamin Sisko is the best Starfleet captain there is, hands down. No one can touch him.
Yeah, you know, one of my favorite episodes actually was the my 2 favorite episodes were number 1, obviously, where the Defiant was introduced, and
that was
2, the episode where the whole episode was him basically doing a log. The one where,
how we got the Romulans into the war.
Yeah.
The guy's like, it's a fake.
Yeah.
I know every single episode. And then like Quark and freaking Odo and oh man, yeah. DS9's the best. Richie Gamer says, I watched Star Trek from the original series as reruns up until Enterprise and the Abrams movies. Guys, I will not watch Enterprise because first off, Scott Bakula's nose is as big as the bridge of the Enterprise. Second off, they totally missed me with that theme song. They have "I Got Faith of the Heart" at the beginning of a Star Trek show. So I will not watch Enterprise. And then all the new Trek, I'm not gonna watch woke Trek. I'm just not. I'm not gonna do it. No way. Now, J.J. Abrams. If you know what you're getting yourself into, the first movie wasn't that bad, but the second and the third one were absolute trash. Especially the third one. I don't know what he was thinking with that one. Yikes! White House says, I remember the J.J. Abrams trilogy. Carlos says, I'm Star Trek all day. Just saw the director's cut of the motion picture. You know, I haven't seen that yet. I'm hoping that's better than the original cut. Because my least favorite, well, no, I'd rather watch the motion picture than Star Trek 5. Ugh. Star Trek 5 was just one big masturbatory exercise for freaking William Shatner. Written by, directed by, starring William Shatner. Yeah, I know, and it shows, right? Star Trek 5 was awful. All right. It says, participating in bizarre competitions. I've lost interest in a guy who spent his Saturdays attending midget jelly wrestling competitions. Yeah, that guy's got a whole bunch of problems, man. What the heck is that about?
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh no. Okay, gambling. Anyone who thinks it's a fun pastime to throw money around and hope for the best is too irresponsible for me today. I agree 100%. Gambling should be off the table. Guys, a quick factoid on that. So, I did my undergrad at UNLV from 2004 to 2006. And that was right when the World Series of Poker and the World Poker Tour started being televised. So they say in certain areas of California, every waiter or waitress wants to be an actor or actress, right? Well, at that time, most of the male servers were wannabe poker players. You guys haven't met the scum of the earth until you've met wannabe poker players, right? And then so online poker became a thing. And UNLV actually did a study in 2007 or 2008, I think it was, where they showed that you put yourself significantly more in debt and bet higher online than you do at an actual table, because when you have the chips in your hand, you have like a with the chips in your hand, you have like a connection with how much you're betting. But if you just have your credit card hooked up and you're clicking, you end up spending a whole lot more. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And then
Makes sense, though.
and then one other thing. One of the craziest things I saw was in the casinos, they would have a ATM machine, right? So you can get more money out. And then next to that, there was another ATM type machine, but it had a phone connected to it. You can get payday loans and title loans in the casino.
Wow.
Oh yeah. I think Nevada passed a law against that because too many people were getting themselves in trouble. But yeah, gambling's perfectly valid. I've never been a gambler, never will. I grew up way too poor to gamble. Collecting pew-pews. Yep. Carlos said it. I once dated a guy who had an extensive collection, which he referred to as his babies. He named each one of them after a woman. It was all too serial killer for me.
Jesus H. Christ.
Okay. Well, I mean, was he actually in the military? Because remember, Colin on Full Metal Jacket, you will give your weapon a girl's name because this is the only pussy you people are gonna get, and you will be faithful. Oh man, so yeah, so maybe he was in the military. Maybe being infatuated with cars. You guys knew that. You guys knew that this was on here. Listen, I get it. Guys like cars. That's totally fine. But if we literally cannot go anywhere without him commenting on a car in every parking lot, it's too much for me. And then last one, Jessica said it. You guys all said it. Dedicating his life to sports. I understand and fully accept that a guy's favorite sports team is important to him. However, when he starts doing asinine things like painting his entire body in team colors, standing in the freezing cold during football season to cheer them on, and then expecting me to take care of him after he catches a nasty cold, I'm not interested. So what do we think, you guys? What do we think? 1, taxidermy, stuffing dead animals. 2, playing video games. 3, obsessing over Star Trek. 4, participating in bizarre competitions. 5, gambling. 6, collecting guns. 7, being infatuated with cars. 8, dedicating his life to sports. What do we think?
Well, the first one still kind of baffles me because, first of all, taxidermy is actually very, very expensive, and it's such a niche hobby that really, like, you would be hard pressed to find men, even like in Alaska and the remote parts of like Montana, who actually do that. So I don't know where that one came from,
A-
but
and what if he makes a bunch of money stuffing animals and selling them?
yeah,
Sound
okay, well, yeah.
let me see. How much does a taxidermist make? Oh wait. Okay, if this is giving me like okay, wait. The average salary of a taxidermist in the United States is about 45,219 a year. Who have a reputation for quality work can affect, including whether they charge by the weight or the inch of the animal. What about part time? There's a part time taxidermist. Yeah, so even part time, you can make about $35,000 a year if you do it about 20 hours a week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, I think, but just the nature of it's kind of something that it can never really be a full time. It can never really be a full time job because one, it's very seasonal with the animals, and two, um, there's a lot of downtime where basically you're just having to let the skins and the furs dry out. So there's so much downtime where you're not doing anything. So, like, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's weird. Okay.
yeah, man. Yeah, I just don't think there's enough guys out there that actually are taxidermists for that to even be on the list. Come on now. All right, so guys, this is your stereotypical, you know, play video games. It gives me the ick type of TikTok. So we already know what this is about, but let's try to make it through it. And guys, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this multiple times. If a woman tries to get on you about your hobby, say, what do you do? What are you doing right now? Because that's the thing about this whole red pill thing, guys. I've been, uh, I got divorced in 2015, finalized in 2016, and that's when I really found the red pill. I'm one of those guys where I didn't take the red pill orally; it got shoved up my behind. You know what I'm saying? And like I've been studying this stuff since 2016. You guys, I know what I'm talking about. I'm an expert on this stuff, right? So it's a hobby of mine. It's a passion, and like I told you guys before, if you want to start a YouTube channel, think it's something that you can talk about all day, every day. Because I can talk about red pill stuff all day, every day. It doesn't matter who it's to, whatever. So I've met women who are like, "Oh my God, you always talk about this stuff, blah blah blah." I'm like, okay, okay, what are you doing? If you don't want to talk about what I want to talk about, or you want to trash what I'm doing, what are you doing? And that'll stop them in their tracks, you guys. Stop them right in their tracks, because a lot of women don't do anything. And disapproval is not a position, you guys. A woman can just say, "I don't want you doing that." No. Anyway, so let's see what this girl has to say.
Let's talk about men that play video games, because I know it gets kind of controversial. Ladies, if you think that you're being controlling for not wanting your men to play video games as much as he does, or if he gets upset at you because you want to spend time with him and he's choosing to play video games instead, you have a right to be upset and your feelings are valid, okay?
But the problem is, spend time doing what, though? Spend time doing what? If these women were to have a plan, say, hey, you know what? I don't want you to play video games on Sunday because we're going to go to some concert, or we're going to go to some nice restaurant I want to go to or something. Okay, fine. Pull me away. But like a lot of women, they just want the victory of taking you away from what you want to do. He's doing what I say. He's doing what I want to do, even if it's nothing. Don't stand for it, you guys. Do not.
Okay. I know that there are worse things going on in this world, but this is just one of those things that gives me the ick, to be quite honest with you, because the amount...
Any girl that says, give me the ick, guys, come on now. The minute a girl says that,
that's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
And I'm out, dude. I'll give you an ick when I'm out the door. How about that?
Guys that I see in the back of their girlfriend's videos while the girlfriend is like trying to do something cute, or even with the kids or whatever, and the husband is just vegged out playing video games like a child on the TV. I'm sorry. I think if you're a gamer and you guys do that as an activity together, it's different. Or if he has a set time that he says, okay, I'm going to hop on here with my friends and veg out and do this, like, it's okay. We all need an escape, right? I'm not against that at all. What I am against is when these dudes would rather spend time on their effing video game in their own little world than face reality and do things with you.
Once again, these women have to ask themselves, why are they so boring? Why are they so awful to be around that a guy would rather lose himself in video games than spend time with you? Sounds like a you problem, doesn't it? Am I wrong here, you guys? Am I? I don't think I am. Give me 1 second, you guys. Give me 1 second. Hold on. One second. Okay. Okay. I'm back.
Like, bro, you're 25 years old. You're almost 30. Sometimes in their 30s and then in their 40s. And you'd rather play a video game than go pick up a book or work on yourself or make more money.
Okay, so first off, women still feel entitled to tell a man what it is to be a man. You're playing video games, so you're not a real man. You're not doing anything productive. Guys, we got to change that trend, because we would get crucified for telling a woman, look, you're not cooking, you're not cleaning. I mean, if you want to be a little high schooler and scroll on Instagram instead of cooking me dinner, if that's what you want to do, and not being a real woman and cooking and cleaning for me and doing my laundry, we can't get away with saying that, but women can get away with saying this to us, guys. And here's the thing, guys, put in the chat, what is the agree with me or not, men's hobbies cost a lot less than female hobbies. A lot less. A lot of things that women like to do are the reasons why they're broke. A guy can get a video game, he can get Red Dead Redemption and play that mofo for freaking 4.5 months. Football, all you gotta do is pay freaking $89.99 a month for internet or cable, and he's entertained for 4.5, 5 months. Think of this stuff. What is some of the expensive hobbies that women do? The Travelicious, handbags. These women that put $500 worth of makeup on their face. All the useless crap that they have to decorate their houses with. Brunches, lunches. I could keep going. I could even say single mothers and their kids are just hobbies to them because they don't want to take them serious and raise them for real. Men hobbies are cheap. Even cars. A guy will buy a car, work on it for 2, 3 years. Come on, man. I'm telling you, don't let women try to tell you that you're not a man because you are doing your hobbies.
Or I don't know. It's just, to me, it's unattractive. I'm probably going to get hate for that, but I don't care. And a lot of you girls need to ditch your gamer boyfriends who choose the games over you, because it's not
Okay, okay. And where's her boyfriend? Exactly. I didn't think so.
okay. It's not. So one of my exes was a gamer, right? And
There it is, guys. There it is. That's why I was about to ask who hurt you, but there it is. Her ex-boyfriend was a gamer. That's where all this is coming from.
I had an interview at JP Morgan, an interview for an internship that would have paid $30 an hour and probably would have changed the whole trajectory of my career. Okay. And I was in our little room, like our little office den area, and he was out in the living room, and he knew that I was in an important interview. And what does this man do? He continues to yell and scream at the TV in front of him, at his friend on this headset. And not only was I super embarrassed, I truly believe that I lost that opportunity because I couldn't focus, one, and then two, there was a screaming little boy in the background.
Guys, come on. That's cap, man. Come on. I'm gonna give that a
Nope.
You mean to tell me if that job interview was that important, you would have removed yourself from that environment? You would have done something to take that job interview more seriously, guys. Who believes her when she says that? Come on. Carlos X says. Carlos X says your show kept me away from the strip club today. Thanks. I appreciate that, Carlos. Thanks, man. What were you saying, Colin?
I said, I sure don't.
Come on, man. $30 an hour? No, man. There's no way that she would have let anybody ruin that for her, let alone this quote unquote magical boyfriend that she's talking about, guys. Come on now.
And even that, she would have told her boyfriend, hey, baby, I got the most important job interview of my life. I need you to not make a single peep, not a single noise, nothing. I guarantee you, the boyfriend would have been like, you know what? I'll do you one better. I'm just going to leave the house for an hour.
Yeah, I agree.
Just to make, right? You know, I mean, come on.
Yep, I agree. Indifference says, I collect rocks from places I go, and she absolutely hates that and says it's ridiculous. So, like, where do you put the rocks? Indifferent. Do you like have a jar or something? Do you put them in your backyard? Is it the fact that you collect the rocks, or the fact that you like keep them like next to the bed or something? What is it? I want to know. Jessica says it the best. She said, JP Morgan pays $30 an hour for someone to open doors for clients. That's true. I think, how much do admin assistants at JP Morgan make? Yeah, man. Admin assistants at JP Morgan make freaking $55,000 a year. Is it $30 an hour? Let me see.
Well, $15 an hour is 30 grand a year. So
is it?
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's close to $30 an hour. Yeah, close. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But and you know what? I totally believe that too, because you're talking Wall Street in New York. You're dealing with clients that have portfolios worth, in some cases, 8 figures. 9 figures possibly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So let's see what else this woman has to say.
And when I told him to be quiet, he got so defensive. I'm not paying that loud. Just ladies, save your time and go date somebody that invests in other things and in you. Okay. Love you.
these women on these TikToks, man. Does this look like any kind of woman who has any kind of marketable skills for JP Morgan, guys? Come on now. Any at all? Yeah, I know. I didn't think so. Okay. Now, let's go to this
Well,
one.
you know, I don't know if you saw the comment I made. She does kind of give off the cave troll vibes. So maybe they needed somebody to guard the parking garage.
Maybe they had a bridge that they had to guard, and
Yeah.
she had to hide under the bridge until the billy goats came along, right? All right, let's go to this one real quick.
My boyfriend and I have been dating for almost 4 years now and living together for almost 2. We really love each other, and I think both hope to move on to marriage and kids someday. But the problem
Okay, so let's whatever.
my boyfriend and I have been dating for almost 4 years
4 years
now and living together for almost 2.
living together for 2.
We really love each other, and I think both hope to move on to marriage and kids someday. But the problem is, he plays video games every day. If it was up to him, he would be gaming nonstop morning to night. This is a huge red flag and a turnoff for me, and has caused most of our major fights. I'm worried that it seems like he doesn't have any other interest or desires to live life outside of gaming and watching sports.
So, okay, they've been together for 4 years. Why is she acting like this is new? Why do women do this, guys? He's probably been doing this the whole time, and she sees herself starting to be able to get leverage in the relationship. So she's going to be like, you know what? You played video games when I met you, but I think that you need to make some changes. This is what happens when they move in, guys. They start analyzing your behavior. And think about it is the problem with stuff like that is it's not about give and take, because women like this, they want you to give on your hobbies, but there's nothing for them to give, because a lot of them don't really do anything. They're boring. And I would also say that men are more likely to do things that are enjoyable for both sexes. Women want you to do something that's only enjoyable to women. Tell me I'm lying, you guys.
Yeah,
Almost
you're right.
Yep. Almost every major hobby a guy does, there's something. It's either fun for both parties, or there's some kind of utility that can teach you a life lesson. Ladies, if you have a guy that likes to shoot, it would really be good of you to learn how. It could be a beneficial life skill. If you have a boyfriend that likes jujitsu, go with him to jujitsu so you can learn how to defend yourself. Even sports, you want to get motivated. Unlike women will see a cute woman on the screen and feel jealous and feel threatened. If I watch a football game, if I need motivation to go to the gym, I'll put on a Marshawn Lynch highlight video. That'll get me hype. I'm like, man, I got to get to the gym. You know, if I see The Rock with his shirt off in a movie, or freaking Jason Statham or something, I don't feel threatened by them. I feel like I need to get my butt back in the gym. But women don't do that.
Yeah.
Male hobby. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just saying, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yep. Male hobbies can be fun. And also, male hobbies are more likely where you can make an event out of it. I watch UFC fights. So when I have people over my house, even if you don't like the fights, eat the food and drink the beer. And shut up when the fights are on. How about that? You can learn a little something. Learn what an arm bar is. You know, learn what a freaking a go-go plotter is. How about that? You know, see what two highly skilled strikers can do. Watch when one person imposes their will upon another person. How about that? I'm telling you, man, a lot of female activity are just selfish and they cost a lot. That's why you can see on social media these guys they get dragged to Target. How is walking around Target fun for a guy, especially when she's spending his money? How is that fun? It's not. these fashion shows and all this garbage that women like to watch. What can you learn from America's Next Top Model? Nothing. I'm telling you, man. Ugh.
I find it hard to imagine my life with children married to a man that just wants to stay inside every day and game. We've talked about this issue and he promises that he will change, but even when we go out to dinner or on a quick walk, it seems like he's just rushing to get through it to get back to gaming. This is such a turnoff and a problem for me. Help.
One thing that I'm thinking of is talk about your schedules. What are your schedules like? What's your work schedule, at home schedule, and figure out a time where it's like this time is slotted specifically for us. At least during
Wait, Carlos X says, I went out with a lady who fished, but it ended up being her way to pull me into her alcoholic chaos. Damn it. You know what? That is true, man. There are certain activities that people do just to drink. So yeah, I agree. And, a lot of guys do it too. Yeah. I have friends who do. I used to, I have a really good voice, and the last band that I sang up front for was in 2012, and it was this cover band, and I had to stop going because the 4 band members, all they do is get together and get smashed every single night. No, every single practice. Every practice, all they did was get smashed. And the drummer left practice one night and freaking rolled his car over. Was drinking, rolled his car over.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was like, guys, I'm not coming back. Oh, you're so good. I'm like, but you guys get hammered every single time. Well, you don't drink. Yeah, and this is why. So yeah, man. Yeah. This is men and women will have hobbies just to get smashed. I can see that.
during the week.
I mean, this would be a deal breaker for me. If I was with someone who only spent their time playing video games or watching sports, and like if this was all consuming to them, where this was all that they could think about, they weren't helping me do things, they didn't want to make plans on the weekends, get out of the house, do other things, because that's important to me, is to go out, do activities and other things together. This would be a deal breaker for me.
So I'm gonna say hobby of mine, Carlos. I read and collect crime and science fiction novels myself. So guys, there's this there is a oh, Jessica says they hate men who have hobbies with the women have nothing to do while we are enjoying leisure. Exactly. There is a role-playing book company called Palladium Books. In fact, let me plug their stuff real quick because I've been buying their stuff since this is them right here. I love these guys. I bought the first book of riffs when I was in 7th grade. So this is the original riffs book. Right here. They've been writing these books for 30 years, you guys. 30 years. So I used to have all my original ones, but then they got thrown away. So I'm back on the quest of collecting every single Palladium books. I don't even play the game. It's just they've been continuing the storyline for 30 years. And then also, if you guys like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Where is it? Role-playing game too. Where is it? It's here somewhere. Anyway, yeah. So they're the ones that they have Robotech role-playing game, and they have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So if you guys like either one of those, you can go to Palladium Books because they still make stuff for them. Anyway, so I'm back to collecting all those. I'm trying to find, and this whole reading off of a tablet, I'm not that kind of guy. I have to have the actual book in my hand. People, oh yeah, you can just download it online, but it's just not the same. It's just not. I gotta have the actual book in my hand. Now we can go to this one. So guys, our favorite simp is back, Dr. John Deloney. Yeah. We all know how this is gonna go. My husband is addicted to video games. What should I do? Guys, if you haven't hit the like button already, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Drop a comment, and all super chats are appreciated. And yeah, let's see what kind of misandry and shaming goes on this one. Let me make sure the volume's all the way up.
Julia in Salt Lake City. Julia, what's up? I feel singing this morning, man. What is up, Julia?
Hi, Dr. D. So I have a question in regards to my marriage and my husband's video game playing. He plays.
Hold on. Did you just say my husband's video game play?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. James and Kelly, so far today, we have had the downloading operating system into kids. We've had parents who don't take their.
I can't stand this guy, man, but we are gonna make it through. Look at his douchey haircut, man. Like I just
kids to funerals and the trifecta. You tell me you got a husband who plays video games. I got to hear more about this. Go for it.
Okay, 3 years.
Yeah. So it gets excessive. I mean, it's always excessive, but there are like two versions of him. There's a version that can like balance that with normal life. And then there's the version of him that ignores everything else and can't deal with real life.
Now, guys, remember, women are always good at telling the female-friendly version of the story. She's not going to tell. She should be asking herself, I said this at the beginning of the stream, why? Why would your husband rather play video games than be around you? Why? There has to be a reason. And we have to understand where he's coming from because, you know, why don't we give him the same benefit of the doubt as we would a woman? If you're to ask her that, she'd say, "How dare you?" I can't stand this guy.
Hold a conversation, doesn't want to go to family events, doesn't want to talk to his mom, doesn't want to play with our daughter. Like it's so bad. And he's had this problem since early childhood. I didn't know how bad it was until after we were married.
But she dated him and she married him. This is what pisses me off about these kind of stories. You knew what kind of guy he was when you married him. And then, guys, he plays video games. He could be out chasing skirt. At least he's at home. Ugh.
So this has been going for like 25 years at this point, because his mom just couldn't ever like pull the plug on it when he was a kid. And
what a failure. Why did she not do that?
She tried, single mom, tried.
There you go, guys. There it goes.
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you're a single mom.
So she babysat him with his video games. Sounds about right.
Tried to do her best. She thought just changing the password on the computer was enough, but he got his own computers and he'd play all day and through the night. And
okay, I want to stop you right there because I want to say this publicly. This is not to you. This is to everybody out listening. A parent who comes to me and says, "Hey, my 9-year-old is addicted to their iPad," I'll always stop them and say that's bullcrap. 9-year-olds only get iPads through their parents. Period. End of.
Okay. I have to agree with him on this one, guys. In fact, I'm going to give him dare I give him a round of applause. Because Colin, you remember those Dr. Phil's and Jenny Jones? Oh yeah, my daughter dresses like a slut. How does she get the clothes? Well, I buy them for her.
Right.
My son or daughter is like addicted to food and is overweight. How does he get the food? Oh, I buy him the food.
Right.
Come on. Rogue Dalek in the house. Good to see you, my friend. He says, women don't have hobbies in the same way men have hobbies. Women's hobbies are shopping and socializing. You spend time, then they complain, ew, you're too clingy, 100%. Breezy Gamer says, he probably had to play video games to escape his more than likely bad home life. 100% true. Doesn't even automatically accepts her one-sided story. Yep, 100%. And Concrete Wanderer says, Dr. Douchebag here. He sounds like one of those TradCon dudes, 100%. And guys, and the bill is still out. What's worse, TradCons or feminists because they do the exact same thing. They all shame men into doing what they want them to do.
Story, end of discussion. My kid won't stop playing video games. Then you take the controllers and you smash them into a million pieces. Kids only have access to this nonsense when their parents are either too insecure or, and I'll give it to you, they're exhausted. I understand that. And a single mom trying to navigate their day and 2 jobs and school, I understand handing a kid a controller because it.
I don't. Oh, she's so stressed out. She's so tired. She had to. That's what happens. We let Chad and Nug shoot up the club, right? Well,
Yeah.
actually, she sounds like she's white. So what? Chad Chaddington and freaking who else? You guys know what I'm talking about.
Just keeps everybody happy. I get that. I get it. But I just couldn't pull the plug. It's parents not owning up to their responsibilities and stepping in that gap and getting rid of the freaking controllers. All right, that's my aside. Go back, Julia.
Yeah, you're good. So when I met him while we were dating, he was hardly playing at all, as far as I could tell. He was really involved in church. He was really thoughtful about dating. We had like a really good social circle, and we were just like always out and about doing stuff. He took good care of himself. And then after being married for a little bit, we've been married for 4 years now. Like every 6 months or so, I just have to have like a complete breakdown to snap him out of it because he's just lost in his video game world.
But she has to ask himself why. Is she a ball busting bee? She probably is. She's probably on him all day, every day.
Yeah.
Telling you, men have like men and women both have their freaking escapisms. A lot of women read romance novels, watch Bad Girls Club, freaking keeping up with the Kardashians. And men play video games. Why are you so terrible that he has to play video games all the time?
What does lost mean? Like how many hours a day?
Like at an absolute minimum, 3 to 4 hours, typically after a work day, 7 to 8 hours. And then on weekends, probably like double that at least.
Wow. So this is a full-blown lifelong addiction.
Yeah. He gets home from work and I'm like, hey, I need you to take care of the baby. And he's like, okay, give me a minute. And he goes and logs in on his computer. And I'm like,
wow.
And
so
then,
are these the multi online player games? Does he have a whole community that he's going to, like trolls and frogs and Navy snipers that he's running around with?
Yeah, it's really.
And he'd rather hang out with them than talk to you. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Yep. Imagine how hellish this woman must be to be around. Because here's the thing, guys. Who's more likely to change in marriage, the man or the woman? The woman. She already has what she wants. She has your balls in a sack. She has the kids. Now, is she working? Because we don't, bro, it's Salt Lake City, Utah. And she said, when he comes home from work, I tell him I need him to watch the baby. Why the heck is she telling him to watch the baby when he gets off work? What is she doing?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, that's a good question. That's a good question. Like, yeah, what is she doing all day long?
Because I see lots of things about, like a guy has to work and then come home and then give the mom a break. Okay, well, why don't you on, some days out of the week, go to his work, take over your husband's job, and then let him go home and sleep for 3 hours. What about that? I keep telling you guys, domestic issues. A man can come home and help the woman with her responsibilities, but a woman can't go to work and help the man with his. That is the imbalance here. Honey, you know what? I need you to go. You know what? I just need a break. I need you to go to work for me real quick and solve some of my issues at work. I just need a break. We can't do that. That's why I hate this whole, oh yeah, a man needs to step up at home, especially if he's the sole breadwinner. When it comes to household chores, anything like that, if he's the sole breadwinner, he shouldn't have to do a damn thing when he gets home.
Yeah. One of the things that's always bugged me the most, just as one example, is when women complain about, oh, I've been doing laundry all day long while you were at work. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, tossing the clothes into the washer, that takes about 45 seconds, maybe about a minute. You turn it on. Okay, let's just, we're just going to be fair and let's just call it 2 minutes. Then you sit and wait and do nothing for anywhere from a half hour to 45 minutes. You toss the clothes in the dryer, put a new load or the second load into the washer. So that takes about 3 to 4 minutes. And then you go back and sit on your ass and do nothing for a half hour to 45 minutes. Like, how is this such hard work? Like, I've never been able to, like, I mean, you understand what I'm trying to say, right?
I do, because let me add to this. We always, oh yeah, motherhood is so tough. It's so tough. The only thing harder than motherhood is shouldering the responsibility of providing for a family on your back. And the reason why I know this is because there are so many women, 6 figures or more, careers, houses. They travel all they want and they're ready to settle down. And if they were a man, they would move a young woman into their house, maybe 25, 23, marry her, have children, and support that family for the rest of his life. But women will not do that en masse. Only 15% of marriages have the wife as a breadwinner, and about 6% have the wife as a sole breadwinner. Women don't want that smoke, you guys. And then, and when they do, when they are the sole providers of the family, it's a single mom situation. And all we have to hear about is how hard single mothers have it and how they're superheroes and they're the strongest women and all the trauma of being a single mom. So what is it? Telling you guys, all this cappity cap. Women don't want the smoke of providing for a husband and children for the rest of their lives. They really don't.
Strange. Sometimes he's like, oh yeah, it's all about the community. It's because, like, I need, like, my boys. He doesn't.
Jessica in the house.
Hi, guys.
How you doing, my friend? What's going on? I figured that you'd want to call in on this subject sooner or later.
No, I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. I mean, I have so much to say, but I don't want to take too much of your stream. It's just so obvious,
Well, hey, Jessica, show me the money.
I know.
Oh,
man. I find my own sound bites for you guys, but yeah, man. Okay, so let me ask you the main question. Why do you think? Well, give me a basic breakdown as to why women don't like their boyfriends or husbands' hobbies, and if you can keep it to video games, keep it to video games, because I'm going to do multiple streams of these. I think the next one is going to be about sports, but if you can give me a basic breakdown as to why these women hate it so much.
For 2 reasons. First reasons is that the man is giving his attention to someone else than her. Okay. That's the first reason. Yeah. Second reason is that instead of having fun and relaxing, he could be working and making money for her. So that's the 2 main, or just solving her issues or problems. Okay, so because of hobbies, the time is wasted, and of course she considers that everything he does must be for her.
Let me interrupt. And just one more thing on what Colin said about the laundry, guys. Everything that women do around the house and say they don't want to do for a man, if they lived alone, they'd have to do it anyway.
Right.
You'd have to cook for yourself, clean for yourself, Do your own laundry. You're gonna have to do it anyway, and you're gonna be pissed off about doing it for a man. Go ahead, Jessica.
Yeah, no. So I was saying, in addition to what you said, they're also very lazy, and they always overhype their work and their importance because they are in a way, I think, very insecure. All they have to do is take care of the house and make it a home. Okay, so that means just make it a nice place to be, to raise the children and stuff like that. So they are
Look
so
at this. Look at
lazy.
this. Look at this. Look at this. They said a stay-at-home mom. I'm sorry. Insert face. The wage the moms to earn for the 18 or so jobs that she must tackle throughout the day is $126,725 a year.
Jesus H. Christ.
Who comes up with that? I mean, come on.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'll have to save this, and I'll have to, let me bookmark that because that's just too good. But that's an example of what you're talking about. This has been a narrative that's been going on. Housewives should be paid $100,000 a year if you factor in all the blah 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 blah. Anyway, go ahead.
No, just to mention, don't forget that some of these housewives have nannies and have like housemaids and stuff like that. So it's absolutely outrageous. It's outrageous, and they still want more. They still want more. They cannot really take any sort of like duty. They all want the luxury of being a wife, but not the duty that comes with it. It's very, I mean, obvious for me.
Okay. Yeah, I always say, and then tell me what you think about the concept that men's hobbies are significantly less expensive and more appealing to women than women's hobbies are to men.
I would say that women do not have hobbies. They do not have hobbies, or I mean, majority. All they like to do is socialize. Okay, and that's why they don't understand that men will be able to spend time on something by themselves or with friends on a topic which for them seems completely boring. They don't understand the interest, in my opinion. So yeah, and even if men have hobbies, they can be expensive or not, but men usually have hobbies because they can afford them. Nobody's going to collect some kind of expensive hobby if he can't pay for rent. So
Yep,
that's
I
my
agree.
opinion.
I agree. Yep, that's true. And I'd also argue that men have more productive hobbies as well. Like I said earlier in the stream, a lot of guys' hobbies, ladies, if you got into the hobby, you could learn a little thing about competition. Maybe learn how to change your oil. Maybe learn how to freaking throw a right hook. How about that?
Yeah, but that requires some kind of, in a way, there's a path of hardship that women always want to avoid. They do not understand that having some kind of challenge and competition and difficulty in life makes you stronger. So they don't understand the point, and men do. So yeah, that's the thing. Like you, for instance, I'm sure you do combat sports. I mean, I'm sure that the fact that you have, I suppose, lost some fights has made you into a stronger man, because you have worked on maybe your weaknesses and stuff like that.
I've never fought. AJ's fought. I've never fought.
But you get my point. I mean, sometimes defeat and failure can improve you as a man.
I've got my butt kicked in practice for. I got to give AJ credit. He's actually fought, but I could never get in the ring, man. Like,
But no, even in practice, I mean, it doesn't even have to be some kind of danger to you. But sometimes competition just reveals your level, and when it reveals your level, you can improve, and that makes you a better man. That's
yeah, because guys,
I'm a big fan of competition. So yeah.
Yeah, at least one time in your life, you got to train at least 8 to 12 months in a combat sport, and you gotta, if you can stay in there with a person, because especially in your gym they have visitors, right? where you don't really know the guy, because if you start sparring with a person, you kind of know their habits. But just get in there and spar with someone who you don't know, who's better than you, and just try to stick in there, because that'll teach you about life. There are times where, guys, I've been getting lit up. I'm talking like body shots, hitting the face, but you just gotta keep shaking, and the and you'd be surprised, because the amount of respect you others give you, and respect for yourself that you have afterwards, that you just stuck it out, that you stuck in there, because that's what life's about. Life's about sticking it. Like, people that actually show up to the finish line are the ones who win.
Yeah, exactly. And they have respect for even trying, because that makes you courageous, and you have to have some kind of bravery to attempt to fail and accept the risk of failing. And these concepts are completely incomprehensible to women, in my
And
opinion.
also it's bleeding over to, that's why they're trying to erase adversity, competition, difficulty from freaking public schools.
Yeah, and also they, I think something which is very typical is that if a man gets beaten by someone else, so some other man, he will try to overcome him and improve himself to avoid it in the future. But if women get beat by another woman, they will just drag them down and destroy their reputation.
It's not fair that I lost. Well, life
she's
isn't
a
fair. How
bitch
about
or
that?
whatever, some stuff like that. Sorry for using the word, but
so let's get back to Dr. Douchebag here.
I don't know any of these people in person, and he never will.
Right. Because they're not real.
But then other times,
or they're middle schoolers in Russia, right?
Clicking.
God almighty.
Yeah, other times though, he's just mindlessly clicking, and it's the same game he's played since he was a kid. And I actually banned it for a while. I was like, I'm done. This has to go away. And he humored me for 3 or 4 months, and then one day he was like, yeah, so I downloaded it on my phone and I've been playing during my lunch breaks, and so I don't think it's that much of a problem, and he put it back.
What game could they be talking about?
I mean, whatever it is, it's an embarrassment that she should be the one who is monitoring her husband's gaming. I mean, what kind of relationship is that? Is he the head of the household? Of course not. I mean,
Whiteout said it the best.
Pathetic.
She banned it. What authority does she have? Especially if he's the one making the money. What authority does she have? Because she sounds like a housewife. That's what she sounds like. And once again, it's Salt Lake City, Utah. You know who Mormons are, Jessica?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Salt Lake City is the home of the Mormons.
Yeah, but they're a little bit traditional, no? I mean, I don't think that would fly there, like a woman saying how and what goes by.
Oh, no, dude. The Mormons, they've become some of the biggest simps of all of the religious groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aren't they the guy with multiple wives and stuff like that?
No,
no, they wrote that off a while ago too.
Oh,
that's
my
only
God. Okay.
That's only well, some still do it, but that's like a really small percentage. Maybe 2% of Mormons live in these compounds, and they're fundamentalists. And guys, you know how those big old compounds exist, right? They have multiple women who have multiple children, and they file for assistance. So they get cash assistance and food stamps because the federal government and the state pays for all those kids. So a good chunk of their income comes from the state of Utah and the federal government. Yeah. I was watching.
Just kind of somewhat. Well, I suppose somewhat related. This is why I'm here in the Pacific Northwest in the Seattle area, and this is why all the big tech companies are so big into bringing the Indian families over here on the H-1B1 visas, because the U.S. government, for some reason, doesn't recognize Indian marriage certificates. So when the Indian men come over here and they go to work for Microsoft or Google or Facebook or whatever the parent company is, what happens is they bring the wife over here as well, along with the children. But because the government doesn't recognize their marriage. The
It's a single mom with kids.
Yeah, so she
Oh
gets.
my goodness.
Jesus H. Christ.
What?
So this is why Microsoft can get away with paying these Indian men like 50, 60 grand a year instead of like 130, 140 for an American citizen, because Microsoft full well understands that the single mom is also collecting, easily somewhere between 30 and 50,000 worth of benefits from the government.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I always thought that these either like Mormons or Scientologists, the only reason is to either escape taxes or to get some freaky harem and stuff like that. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, a mixture of both, I guess.
Yeah.
Man, thank you, Colin, for freaking teaching me something. None of that surprises me at all.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's get back to Dr. Douchebag here.
On his computer again and
So
continues to play it now.
What is your sex life like? What is your intimate life like?
It's kind of gone away. Some of that has to do with our baby being born this year, and
Yeah, she's lazy. She got fat. That's the thing.
Yep. This is what it sounds like.
I would go like with with height, weight, dress size.
Just like
that's the only question you gotta ask.
Well, I feel like I could hear her sweating while she's talking. So.
C-section recovery and PTSD and a number of things.
So back me up right before the baby.
Wait. What's she saying?
It's kind of gone away. Some of that has to do with our baby being born this year and just sleep deprivation and C-section recovery and PTSD and a number of things.
PTSD from what? Childbirth?
Yeah, she's a joke.
And what's so bad is he should ask her about her PTSD. He should go into further about that. But one, he's not going to. And two, if he did, she'd say,
"How dare you?
I'm a mom. I gave birth." Because apparently to women, the most important thing any person could ever do in the history of the world is give birth to a child. Although it literally happens a million times a day.
So back me up right before the baby was born. Still 4 to 6 hours. I'm just looking at the math on the hours here, right? I mean, there's not a lot of time to squeeze in connection time.
No, there's not. And I've told him that too. He's like every once in a while he'll say, "Oh, our intimate life has disappeared." I'm like, yeah, because I'm not a microwave. You can't just push a button and I'm ready to go. You have to actually pay attention to me. We have to do date night. We have to cuddle sometimes without the expectation that that's going to happen. It takes effort on your part. And so sometimes he puts in that effort and other times he's like, it's too much. I'm just going to play my games because that's easy.
Wow. So we'll talk about the video game thing here in a minute. I don't want you to blow by the sense of rejection and the sense of, I wish I had a better word for it. I'm kind of at a loss right now. The infidelity that he's choosing video games. He's choosing rolling around with middle school kids with his controllers as opposed to being with his wife. And I don't want you to miss that. And I know that's easy to focus on the video game part, but that's got to suck, right? That hurts.
Yeah.
But once again, how awful is she that he'd rather play video games to spend time with her? I can't stress that enough.
It hurts.
Definitely.
So I don't want to minimize this. There are guys who come home and numb out, who don't have the tools, and women do it too, right? There's men and women who don't have the tools to be in relationships. They don't have the tools. You said you got a young kid, right? They don't have the tools for dealing with the stress and the overwhelming feelings of shame and what do I do when a newborn comes home. They don't know how to deal with rejection at work. That happens, right? And there's folks who spend 1 or 2 or 3 hours a night, 4 to 6 hours a night, 8 to 9 hours a night, has so many derivative bad effects, from lack of sleep to lack of human contact to literally living in a fantasy. That's every bit, as far as I'm concerned, as dangerous as an alcohol addict, as someone who's cheating on their wife. because they are choosing other behaviors or choosing other fake relationships to numb out and not have to deal with the person in front of them. And so now that you've got a daughter here, I want you to be very serious about thinking through protecting your daughter and his daughter from this level of disconnection, because she will quickly understand that she is in second place to a computer, that she is in second place to a distant father. More insidiously, it'll be a distant person who's in the same house, right? And a kid can not regulate well, but they understand the physical presence. Dad isn't here, right?
But then the kid will also see the mother badgering the husband, getting on him all the time, nagging him. And she'll think that that is normal behavior, to try to control a man, tell him what he is and isn't going to do. And odds are, I don't know how old the daughter is, but she's probably talking about the husband to the daughter. Come on now.
Dad left us. Dad moved out. Mom moved away. She's got a new husband. But when they're in the same room and they're distant from you, kids will backfill that with, this is my fault, this gap is my fault, and they will try all sorts of connecting, numbing behaviors to try to bridge that gap. And this is a serious thing. Again, just in my own house, just for what it's worth, there are no video game consoles. My kid wouldn't know how to turn a video game on. Now, I'm crazy about it, right? So I know there's going to be a million people. You think the CrossFit community came after me, man? The video game folks, I get it, right? But I want my kid to experience outside. I want my kid to experience playing.
Ragey Gamer said the best. Do we even know what work her husband does? Maybe it's so stressful he knows he's better off telling a tree his problems than his wife. 100%. Ragey Gamer, Carlos, Jessica, Paddlefoot, everyone, Conquering Wanderer in the chat. Everything a man does is automatic. Everything a woman does is extraordinary. One thing about the West is we don't give men credit for anything anymore. Nothing. Once again, his job, she doesn't care about his job and what he's going through. He has to work his job and then come home and do what she says. Because she could talk to him and say, hey, honey, like, what is you playing video games a de-stressor? And what kind of stress are you going through? Maybe if she acknowledged the stress he was going through, she'd be fine with all the video games he played, except for maybe, a couple weeks out of the year or something like that. Or maybe would find some kind of compromise. But he probably feels misunderstood. He feels underappreciated, and he's not getting laid. Whereas when he goes online, he gets praise. There's competition. His homies are on there. She should provide that environment in the house, but she's not going to.
In baseball with dad, just throwing it back and forth. I had to learn, I'm still having to learn how to play dolls with my daughter, how to just be bored and be connected with my kids. And what they think is interesting, we're going to think is interesting. Or if I'm out doing yard work, my kids are coming with me. If I'm going hunting or fishing, my kids are going with me. And that's a part of the responsibility of having kids. Now, I don't want to say all video games are evil or whatever. That's just the stance I've taken, mainly because I can't control myself. I don't mind saying this again on this podcast. A few years ago, before I knew they were a bunch of cheaters, I was a near religious Astros fan. And one of the things I gave myself for a gift was
Wide out, hit it right on the head. He says, ironic, it's Dave Ramsey. It's a Christian, but they don't teach the wife she was subject to the man. And this guy came off of Dave Ramsey too. You hit it right on the head. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Because they seem to leave that part out, don't they?
MLB ticket. And so I got all the Astros games just piped into my house. And I found myself getting home from work and I would just go lay on the couch. I was exhausted. I was on call 24/7, 365. I was just working. And I'd just go lay down. And my son came in one day and he asked me a question that was a dagger to my soul. And I really haven't picked up professional sports or college sports since. Because I'd get home and I'd say, hey, son, why don't you come lay down and watch the game with me? We love the Astros together. And he'd say, well, let's just go play catch. And I'd be like, let's watch these guys. They're professionals. And that was my way of numbing out. I was exhausted. I didn't want to go chase a ball. He was like 6 or 7. He threw the ball crazy all over the place. And then one day he came in and asked me this question. Hey, Daddy. And it wasn't a drama question. It wasn't a guilt question. He was just like a 7-year-old or 8-year-old asking for facts, asking for data. Hey, Dad, do you love me as much as the Astros? I was like, say what? He goes, do you love me as much as the Astros? Because I was laying on the couch watching him, and he was just standing.
Come on, that's cap, guys. That is cap. If you, most sons will want to participate in whatever their dad's doing, and most sons would never say, "Hey, Dad, do you love?" No way. No. I used to love watching sports. My dad when I was young. I used to love it. You know, it's just time where you can hang out with your dad and you get to see your dad happy doing something. This guy's freaking cap. Do you love me as much as the Astros? Man, you should have hit him in his mouth for saying something like that.
You know, actually, I'll take it one step further, Doug. If the kid actually did say that, or the boy said that, I could almost guarantee you that the mother planted that seed in his mind.
Yep, I agree. I agree 100%. I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I looked at him and said, son, I love you more than I will ever love the Astros. And I got up and turned off the game. And I really haven't gone back. Because my son is more important. My wife is more important. My daughter is more important. My community is more important than living in a fantasy world, than living in a fake world of elves and trolls and shooter games and all of the things while the world is spinning and passing us by. So for you, Julia, you've got to intervene. You've got to intervene in a significant way. And so I'm going to recommend you go meet with a professional counselor to get some tools on how to identify your personal values, the values you're going to have in your home for raising your daughter. And of course, you're doing this with him. And you're going to have to come up with some or what behaviors, some or what ideas. Because at this point, this is a lifelong thing. He is connected to this box, your husband is. He's connected to this game, this pseudo fantasy community. And he's not going to be able to turn it off on his own. And you're not going to be able to have blow-ups. You're not going to be able to punish him into recovery. He's going to have to decide, I want human interaction. I want to learn how to be uncomfortable with other people. I'm going to have to learn how to be disappointed and feel ashamed and feel nervous and feel sexy and feel loved. He's going to have to learn how to do all those feelings because his mom didn't teach him. And it is what it is. That's the husband you've got right now. I hope beyond hope, he will lean in and say, you are right. My wife, my daughter, my family, my future is more important than an imaginary game. I hope he will. I hope he will. The tools are out there and the resources are out there. But at this point, Julia, all you can do is you can take care of your thoughts and your actions, and you've got to protect that daughter of hers.
She has to protect the daughter from her husband playing video games. This is why you listen to these simps, guys. These guys are terrible. The key to this, and I've said this at least 20 times, I'm going to say it again. Why is she so terrible that he'd rather play video games than be around her? Maybe she's a nagging freaking demon. Maybe she's a nagging demon. Or guys, what could have happened was, a lot of times, he probably didn't make a lot of money, or he didn't have a lot of status when they first met. And then he started gaining a bunch. He makes more money and stuff. He got more respect. And everyone in his life sees him as a professional, a man of status, except for his wife. Happens all the time. She said, "Oh yeah, he's a little kid playing video games," and she probably talks to him like one. You know who doesn't talk to him like that? The guys he plays with online.
And so go see somebody ASAP, start working through this process, and then be ready to have a good, deep, clarifying, boundary-filled conversation with your husband. And one last piece of advice. Don't have that conversation one night at midnight when you're just frustrated and you're angry. Set it up, put it on the calendar, make it a destination. Y'all go to breakfast, have somebody come take your daughter for vacation, and y'all go have this conversation in a controlled, quiet setting and just say enough is enough. I'm not going to share my life and my daughter with a video game. Period.
You see, I'm not going to share my life and my daughter.
Jesus H. Christ.
There it is, guys.
Yeah.
There it is. Language is very important, and this guy is a scumbag for saying that. I'm telling you, these TradCons, man. The reason why men stop going to church is freaking guys like Dr. Douchebag here. And I'm telling you, man, like, you don't want to make a man have to choose because you don't know what he's going to choose. You really don't. If she's been nagging him for this long, maybe he'd rather be a part-time dad and pay child support and play video games instead of being around her. And then so she makes an ultimatum and he leaves. What's she gonna do? She's gonna be a single mom in Salt Lake City. Overweight, nagging. What does she think is out here for? Would she rather have half a man where she has to divide him between his video games and her, or no man at all? Because that's what's literally about to happen. Simp.
Period. I hope he turns around, and I hope he realizes how important you and your daughter are. Call me back in a few weeks after you have this conversation. After you've had time to meet with a professional, I want to hear how this is going. And if he wants to call me, I'd love to talk to him too. Have him give me a call or shoot me an email at askjohn@ramseysolutions.com. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it, guys? God, yikes. Guy. Ugh.
You know what? You kind of not sarcastically, but I forget the word I'm looking for. You ask the question. What's it called when you ask a question but you don't actually expect an answer? But whatever. You know
Rhetorically.
what? Rhetorically, thank you. The TradCons are far, far more dangerous than the nagging and haranguing feminists because they have far more influence and they will go to battle and they will fight and die for the nagging and haranguing feminists.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man.
Yeah.
Everything that you can say about TradCons, I agree with you 100%, man. It's awful. And TradCons, oh yeah, God says it's your duty to just be a workhorse. Get, do all the work with no respect, asking for nothing in return. Do this whole thing where, oh yeah, support women right now and sit for women right now because, they're, your reward is in heaven after you die. Oh, really? Here's another one, you guys. So this is how her and her husband got over his video game and sports addiction. Let's see if this is up. Okay.
When my husband and I first got married, he was addicted to video games. So if your spouse is addicted to video games or sports or anything, listen to this.
So what'd you marry him for then? Am I smoking? Am I taking crazy pills here?
No.
Why are they... That is a simple question.
This was honestly our biggest fight for about 7 years. I wanted his time and he needed time to rest and relax. While most wives I know are willing to give that time to rest and relax, they feel like the second choice, which is completely how I felt. I felt like I wasn't prioritized at all. Through my blog, podcast, and social media, I've been teaching about marriage for the past 8 years. And these are the 3 things that have helped us and helped other couples that I've coached. Number 1, 3 days on, 4 days off. 3 days on, those are the days that you and
3 days on, 4 days off.
Jesus H. Christ.
Are you serious? You're gonna let your wife say, "All right, honey, you can only play for 3 days. All right, honey." God. This is what marriage looks like, guys. I'm telling you. That's why there was a um uh what's it? After divorce. So I was listening to this thing on NPR, and because once a road trip, I'll switch to NPR, and I always have like really good luck when it comes to NPR. But this lady was talking about how gray divorces are on the rise. So a 50-year-old couple would get divorced once the the kids leave, and of course the woman leaves, and a lot of times the man self deletes, and it's because during their marriage, the woman just took over the role of the social director. So the woman will say, "Honey, we'll have a honey-do list," and then "Honey, when you get off work, okay, Saturday morning, you're gonna mow the lawn, and then we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that, and then Sunday we're gonna go to my parents' house, okay, honey, okay, okay." And the guy's like, "Okay, honey, sure, okay, okay." He loses all of his friends. He loses his ability to form connections and relationships. Most guys, the best friends that you're ever going to make are the ones in college. So your wife leaves you, right? And all of a sudden you're freaking by yourself at 55 years old. You haven't had to make friends in 20, 25 years. So a lot of these guys are just freaking take themselves out. This is typical. Your wife telling you, "Oh, what do you? Okay, oh, okay. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can play the game. Okay. That's okay, honey. Sure, honey. Okay." It's marriage, you guys.
You and your husband or wife can do things completely separately. He goes and does his games or whatever he chooses. I go read a book or bake or binge Netflix. Then the 4 days we spend together, one-on-one time, communication, intentional time. Number 2 is caring about one another's happiness and priorities. So when we spend time caring about the other person and what they love, we tend to get more invested in those things. So I started joining my husband for some of the video games that he loved. I don't necessarily love it or think it's great, but I knew that it was important to him and I wanted to be a part of that. So I started joining in with him or just spending time in there while I read a book.
See, I gotta give her a round of applause for that. Pick up the sticks, man. Pick up the sticks, or learn about his favorite game, or just be in the same room as him. Read a book or something. Paddlefoot says, "My ex is totally cool with games. She'd play with me, but the moment it came to doing something with friends or outdoors, she'd get all quiet and depressed. I wasn't allowed to leave the house." Yikes, man. Is that the reason why she's your ex? Because, guys, put in the chat, what's worse? A woman that doesn't like to go out enough, or a woman that likes to go out too much? What's worse? Because yo, guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm at that age, man. I don't want to be bothered a lot of the time. So I'd rather have a woman that likes to stay in. Well, yeah. I'd rather have a woman that likes to stay in too much, than a woman that stays out. No, a woman that likes to stay in, and then the woman that likes to go out too much. At least the woman likes to stay in will save money, guys. Most of the time,
I was just gonna say that like I'm such a hermit and I'm such a cheap bastard that it's like going out. That means spending money. I'm like, oh no.
I agree, man. I agree. Paddlefoot says, I'm insanely outdoorsy, but not into the clubbing sort. Yeah, okay. What part of the country are you located in, Paddlefoot? Jessica says there must be balance. Raging Gamer says too much. Yep, I agree. Yep. Jessica says, I don't believe a word she says. Yeah. Yep. So let's see what else this woman says.
Also does the same for me, that books I love, movies I want to watch, things I want to do together. He comes along.
Oh, so like Panhandle. Okay. Yeah. So like like Pensacola area and stuff. Yeah, there's lots of outdoor stuff to do in the Panhandle of Florida. And here's the thing, guys: I'd rather be in the Panhandle of Florida than freaking South Florida, man. So, South Florida sucks. If you if you've ever been to Miami, then Plantation, St. Petersburg, yeah, no thanks, dude. No way. He says, okay, all right, cool, all right. Sexually said him. My ex called all of the Uncharted boring because she had problems solving the puzzles. Sounds about right, guys.
Jesus H. Christ.
Pyro's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Let's see what else is going on with this woman here.
With it without complaining, any criticism, and it helps us to form a better friendship. Number 3, and this might be the most important one, invite other people into your marriage or relationship.
Wait. Whoa, hold up a second on that. Wait a minute. What does she mean by invite? Wait, I'm sure she doesn't mean like sexually, but like you want like more people so you can like you want her to have like another woman and she can bitch complain to? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Gives the opportunity for men and women to speak into your lives, because men hear better from other men and women often hear better from other women. But it also helps to have other couples who can speak into your relationship and tell you, hey, this is healthy, this isn't super healthy, or just to have the opportunity to hear that other people go through things and you're not totally alone. But when a man calls another man up, it helps them to see the priorities are not in order and that they do need to spend more time putting their wife first.
Guys, come on. Are you serious? Man, if one of my friends was like, hey, man, I'm on the game. I'll be like, all right, man, shoot, I'll get right on there. You think your friend who likes gaming and you who like gaming are going to say, yo, man, we shouldn't be playing tonight because we need to spend more time with our wives. That ain't happening. Nope. Come on now.
Marriage courses, the Sex and Intimacy Project and the Wife Project, both speak into healthy, thriving marriages and have helped thousands of people around the world to grow in their.
Yeah, no thanks. So, guys, 3 days a week, you can play your game. 3 days a week. Then all the rest, you have to do exactly what she says. And here, if you want to know what guys want, this is what guys want right here.
We're going to SmackDown Friday. And we just bought tickets, and it's 6:30.
Yeah. So spontaneous.
I'm also wearing the girliest dress that there is to SmackDown Friday, but it's spontaneous, so I couldn't care less. First dollar pizza.
See? Is that so hard? Is that so hard? No. Just get invested in what your guy likes to do. Dude, Jessica says, instead of making videos for your channel, we should be spending time with our wives. Oh, man. Yeah, I tell you, man, just women it just I saw this thing where it's, they're talking about that 4B thing, and all these women are like, yeah, men just haven't, men are jealous that like women are more educated and women have changed, so they're just not, they just don't want to adapt. They don't want to do what's necessary to keep us and be with us. But why are women? Okay, feminism freed women up from being barefoot in the kitchen and their traditional duties, but it's also freed up men from their traditional duties too. We don't have to anymore. I've said this multiple times on my channel. It used to be that rich guys were bachelors and playboys. But guys, if you make $60,000 a year, $50,000 a year, you don't live in a major city, you can have a pretty good life all by yourself. You don't have to be a pack mule for a woman and jump through hoops just to get sex on your birthday. You don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Women opened up this box and they hate how men are responding to it. Look at Japan. Korea is along the same path. Men just don't want to be bothered. Well, men don't want to step up, and that's a shame for a lot of women who want children and want marriage. Men will always hold the key to marriage en masse, and men are becoming more and more responsible with their seed. That's why, guys. Hey, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but if there was a male birth control pill, I'm all for it, man. I'm all people, guys. Oh, I wouldn't want to. You know what? I'm all for it because women know not what they're at, or when women say, I think that all male babies should get a vasectomy until they get older and they prove they're responsible. You know what? I'm all for it. Let's do it. Give men the keys to childbirth and see what happens. See what happens. Women know humankind would die out in 3 generations.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. Guys, picture this, right? You're taking birth control. Your wife says, I think that we should have a kid now. You know she's crazy. You say, okay, honey, I'll stop taking my birth control. And you just keep taking it. You have it out in your car or you have it at work. Honey, it's not working. I don't know why I'm not getting pregnant. I don't know either, honey. I don't know. I don't know what happened. You know how significant the birth rate would drop if you gave men the ability to determine if en masse a woman got pregnant. And male birth control would be just like Ozempic. There'd be a lot of guys on, especially a lot of famous guys, and not saying anything. I wouldn't take that. You know dang well you're taking your male birth control. You know dang well you're doing it.
Right. It'd be like it would be like, oh, no babies.
Exactly. No baby. Exactly. I'm telling you, man. I'm all for it. If it was we should give all. You know what? Yeah, all male babies vasectomies at birth. Give it a try. And you're going to reverse that in one generation because a bunch of guys aren't going to, or you're going to see, like it's going to be like 2% of the population are going to have 80% of the kids. All these women use those dumbass talking points. I'm all for it. Let's do it. Pat says, I was starting to make money and chilling at the local unmarked springs. Good job on that. Pirate says, I'm a man have full control of their nut. Allow or women would want a ban on birth control. Yep, my body, my choice. You got it. As if it's wild man forget the word to take the pill. Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna do a live stream. I might do it tomorrow about these fat body positive influencers who are losing weight with Ozempic because they don't have to do any other work. And it's like, do these body positive, because now it's body neutrality now, not body positivity. Do they owe their followers an explanation if they're taking Ozempic? I would argue yes, of course. AJ, I swear Planned Parenthood will be for both genders. All right, you guys. So let's look at this girl's debt confession real fast.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
And like I sped this up because it goes kind of slow, but she breaks down her numbers. So let me put this on 1.25. All right, cool.
Start. And this is actually the original.
So look at this. Debt confession, $147,000 in debt. The beginning of my debt journey. This is what's out there. This is what's out there, guys. Right here.
Budget planner that I used when I first started. I've kept all of my budget planners year after year, and so I figured I would write it in this one. So let's see. So first, let's start with credit cards. So I had, let's see, 7 credit cards when I first started. And so the first card I had was a Victoria's Secret credit card. So it's a store credit card. I still have this card. There's not much on it at the time I started, or there wasn't a lot on it when I started. I don't even honestly know the last.
Okay, so she has a Victoria's Secret credit card. Her hands don't look fat, but they do look kind of old, don't they?
Jesus H. Christ.
I see some wrinkles on her fingers, so I don't know why she has a Victoria's Secret card.
Time I used it. So I still have the card, but it is a 0 balance. So I'm going to do the starting amount, the interest rate, and what the minimum payment was. So this one started out at $20.43. And so that was obviously what the minimum payment was. I don't know what the interest rate was on this one. I couldn't find that information from back then. I never wrote it down since it was such a small amount. So I'm not sure on that one. Knowing that it's a store credit card, it was probably fairly high, probably like, I don't know, 30% or so. So the next card was a Citibank credit card. So the balance on this was $356.88. Again, I'm not sure what the interest rate was on this one, but the minimum payment was $25. The next card is a GM Capital One credit card. I still have this credit card, but I haven't used it in quite a while, so it's at a 0 balance now. But I do still have it. I think that was one of my first credit cards that I ever got. The interest rate on it was 29.9%, which looking at—
Oh my God! A credit card, 29.9% on a credit card?
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, Doug,
Uh-huh.
the new normal for credit card interest rates now is 36%.
Get the F out of here. Are you
No,
serious?
I'm serious, man. I'm serious. I'm
Oh
serious.
my gosh. I'm gonna give that a oof. You know what? I'm gonna look that up real quick. What is the average interest rate for a credit card?
The reason
in
the
2024?
reason that I learned this here recently was because I was looking up some credit cards to
It
get.
says right now it's 24.4%.
Really?
Even that's high as fuck. Holy excuse my language. Oh my God. Ah! Oh my God. Yikes. Why would you take out what? I think the highest credit card I ever took out was a Goodyear card to get tires. And then second to that, I had because I only have one credit card right now. But and I keep it because usually once a year there's fraudulent activity on my freaking debit card for some reason. So when that usually around Christmas time, so I like to keep a credit card just in case. But yeah, and this second to that, I think I had any kind of airline credit card, like a Southwest card or something like that, like the ones that they offer on the plane. Guys, don't get those. Don't get those because those have high interest rates. And she doesn't even know the interest rate on the other ones. Yikes.
I think maybe that explains the reason I was looking at credit cards again here recently was because I only look at the cards with the cash back rewards, and I think the cash back reward cards have higher rates because they usually also have a sign up bonus. And people might hate me for this, but I don't use my debit cards at all. I use my credit cards for quite literally everything. And I'll straight up tell you, I don't even know what the interest rate is because it doesn't apply to me. Every time I use a card, it gets paid. And in fact, actually, all the cash back rewards that I collect last year, I'm on just between two of my cards, I had a couple big expenses for cleaning up my mother's mess when she died. I got back almost $3,000 of free money that's tax-free. I paid not a single penny in interest. And so far this year, I've already gotten back almost $1,400 of tax-free money. And again, not a single penny paid in interest. So I think maybe that's why all the credit cards that I looked at were like 30 to 36%. So, but again, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you have to be you have to do your due diligence, and that's a lot more than a lot of these 304s want to do. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's keep going.
At that now, it just seems like such a high interest rate. It's crazy to me that credit cards charge so much, but all of them are fairly high. So I guess they get their money's worth. The next one was a U.S. bank credit card. $1,789.87 was my beginning balance. The interest rate was 24.74%. And the payment was $68. The next card is a Discover card. I do still have this credit card. It is paid off currently, but the balance when I started was $6,083.55.
How do you rack up $6,000.82 on a credit card? I'm a 43-year-old man. I couldn't imagine having that much on one credit card.
Jesus H. Christ.
So she didn't total it up at the end.
With an interest rate of 18.74 and a minimum payment of $122. Let's see. The next card was Bank of America. I still have this credit card as well. It was the last credit card that I paid off. It had the highest balance. So it had a balance of $8,548.46, but an interest rate of only 10.65%, which, I mean, it is a high interest rate, but compared to the others, it's much lower. It's almost a third, less than the GM1. So it's still high, but not as high as it could be. Minimum payment on this one was $160. And then last credit card was a Chase credit card, which the balance was $790.08. And I still have this credit card, but it is a zero balance. Interest rate of 27.74, and minimum payment was $25. Most of these credit cards, I honestly don't even know what was on them. I looked back at my original.
There you go, guys. There it is. She said most of these credit cards, I have no idea what's on them. We are getting a peek into the mind of the spending of the spending of the modern woman, you guys, right here. She has no idea what does she have to show for all this.
Yeah, this is exactly why, as of recently now, a credit card, just credit card debt, that's not counting all consumer debt, just credit card debt has now topped $1.2 trillion. And just like the student loans, guess who has most all of it?
Yep. In fact, let's look. What percentage of credit card debt is held by women? Okay. Hold on. Who has more credit card debt? Women are stereotypically seen as irresponsible spenders. Study found that men have $125 more in credit card debt than the woman on average. Yeah, but there are more women. I don't know. I'm trying to see.
And also the men, for the men, that those credit cards are usually for their own small businesses. So you're talking like contractors, the handyman guy. So, yeah. But the last time I looked, credit card debt was over 70% of all of it was held by women. So
yeah, I guarantee it. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Yep.
Original budget when I very first started tracking things, and I was doing cash advances. I was going to the ATM and taking money off of the credit line just to pay my bills or to pay other credit cards. And so
guys, never take cash advances off your credit cards ever, because that has a whole different interest rate. It's even higher. Any amount taken off in cash has an even higher rate. Don't ever take cash off your credit cards ever.
To a point where I just felt overwhelmed by all the debt, and that's kind of what made me start trying to pay it off and to start budgeting, so that I could get reinvested.
Remember, 46% of women don't budget.
Back in a little bit, and not be borrowing money against all the credit lines to just pay my normal bills. So I'm very happy to say all these credit cards are currently paid off. A couple of them are actually closed. And just looking back at it, it's still even overwhelming just seeing the numbers that I owed. I'm sure a lot of it was also shopping that I'd put on there. And just like
Carlos X said the best. I started to pay more attention to who has debt around me. I was surprised to find out that even the most responsible women around me are credit card debtors. 100%. Guys, someone that guy off of the Chow Time Pod, he has a video where someone did a compilation of women who just had to sell their houses. They're like, look, I can't afford it anymore. I bought this house. It's too much. I can't do it by myself. I'm selling my house. You'd be surprised. These women that have nice cars, houses, all of it is debt. Debt.
Like random stuff.
Yep. What's the biggest thing that you bought that put you in debt, Colin? Do you remember?
Well, really only one thing, and this was like 21, 22 years ago. I bought a new car, but that's pretty much it. The only thing, quite literally, the one and only thing I have now is basically I got stuck with a $436,000 mortgage when my mother died, and I've already paid it down enough to where I already have at this point now about $250,000 of equity in that house.
Oh, that's good. Good job.
So, so like basically, I quite literally I made the very first mortgage payment the very same day that my mother died, and
wow, okay.
yeah. Well, anyways, what I was going to say is that so that was a 30-year conventional mortgage. I've already paid it down enough to where now I'm just slightly over 10 years left if I go back to making just the bare minimum payments, which obviously I'm not going to do.
Okay. Good job on that, man.
So basically in a little over a year and a half, I knocked out almost basically like 20 years worth of debt. So
good job, man. Because the only thing the housing market is cooling off. So Doug and PA is going to buy a house next year. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I don't really have. Everything else, I mean, like I'm debt free besides that. So
good.
I have to stop everything and say Frenchie is in the house. Frenchie and I have been mods on all sorts of different channels. She is a great person. Thank you for being here, Frenchie. I appreciate it. In fact, I'm going to give her a round of applause. Yeah, her and I go way back. We used to mod King Rich's channel together, Pearl's channel, a bunch of different channels. Yeah, so thank you for being here, Frenchie. I really, really, really appreciate it. And guys, one more thing before we get going. If you make $30,000 a year, or $40,000 a year, or $50,000 a year, and you have more debt, you are worth more than a woman that makes $100,000 a year, but is freaking $147,000 in debt. You are worth more than that woman. So don't ever have anyone tell you different. Okay?
Absolutely. There's another YouTuber out there. He the way he puts it, he says that a man with no debt is a rich man.
Yep. In fact.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second, you guys. I have to make the wrong things right here. Oops. 1 second. In fact, I'll let this play.
Going out to eat, just random things, nothing that I could even remember, honestly. So that is the credit cards. I'm going to go to a different color, I think. It's kind of a similar color. Going in to the next section is student loans. I have 2 bachelor's degrees. I went to a private.
I had to hand Frenchie a wrench because she's like one of the best moderators out there.
College, so my student loans are fairly high. I started out in a public school and then I transferred to a private. So it's pretty high, especially with 2.
Okay. So we're in student loans, right? What'd you hear her say already, guys? Private student loans.
Jesus H. Christ.
Those will get you every single time, guys. Now, did she do the math on her credit card debt? Because she hasn't yet. So what? 2.43, 356.88, 60.62, 62 plus 178. Hold on. I'm gonna do the math real quick. 20.43 plus 356.88 plus 560.62 plus 1789.87. So she has $18,149.89 in credit card debt. So if you subtract that from 147, so does she really have $128,000 in student loan debt?
Jesus H. Christ.
Let's see.
Different programs. So I do have the majority of my debt came in the form of student. So the first one I had was a Great Lakes loan for $14,146.73, and that had a 12.7% interest rate. And
oh my God. Holy crap! No way, 12.7%. Oh my God! This is only gonna get worse. Watch.
At the time, I didn't realize how high that interest rate is. But now looking back at it, knowing a lot more, I see this interest rate and this amount, and it's just crazy to me that that's even like a possible amount that they would loan, or even an amount that they would charge for an interest rate for a student loan. It's just crazy to me.
And she had to sign for that too, you guys. Don't ever look. You have to sign that promissory note. That's why it's so hard for me to feel bad for these women who have 70% of the student loan debt. You sign for it. These rates were listed on there before you signed, so I don't want to hear it.
Another thing, Doug, just to kind of put this into perspective, when you add up these numbers and you look at these interest rates and you look at the fact that she's basically only making minimum payments, just as a point of perspective, over the course of 20 to 30 years, this woman would have been, quote unquote, would have been easily able to buy a $500,600,000 house cash money, but instead all she's doing is pissing away all her money.
Yep, you got it, man. On all these minimum payments, and then what's the minimum payment on her credit cards each month? 20.43 plus 25. 68.00 plus 122.00 plus 160.00 plus 25. She has $450 in minimum payments a month in just credit cards. And guys, her major, it has to be, what are the 7 I always say on my channel, degrees that women get that aren't worth the paper they're printed on? Say it with me: psychology, sociology, social work, criminal justice, some kind of studies degree, so gender studies, African American studies, communications, and education. It has to be in either one or multiple ones of those. This is only going to get worse, guys. Watch.
But that's how it works. So let's see. The next one was another Great Lakes. Number 2. We'll call that one. This one was smaller, $3,922.93. Interest rate of 5.23%.
That's
and a
not so
minimum
bad.
balance or minimum payment of $50. Great Lakes number 3 was $1,119.96. and that had a 4.09% interest rate and also minimum payment of $50. Another loan that I had from when I went to a state school, actually. I went out of state. I'm originally from the Midwest. I went out of state for my first year and a half of college, and that was at a state school in a different state. And so that's this loan, ECSI, which was $2,154.79. That was 5%.
Yeah, let's
And
speed it up
minimum.
here.
This is where the bulk of it is. And this is where I still have some loans left to pay. The first one here, if I loans one, I wasn't making any progress on it, just paying that minimum. It just continued to grow. 68. Also 6.55%. And minimum payment of 21, which is just crazy. That amount is just insane to me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, you guys. Look at that.
I'm sorry. Let me.
700. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Let me take back what I just said about that $500,000, $600,000 house. Make that $1 million house. My God, this is unbelievable.
Yikes, you guys. Oh.
You know, I do feel that my degrees are useful, and I do work in my degree.
Okay, so did she say what kind
Just
of
for student
degrees?
loans alone was $103,732.18, which is just crazy. That amount is just insane to me. Even though I do feel that my degrees are useful and I do work in the field of my degree, to me, $103,000 for student loans is just crazy. And this doesn't even include the ones that were already paid off. And then my parents also had a loan, and so this is just crazy to me.
So she paid some off already, and then she had a Parent Plus loan too. Ah,
yeah. Let's just see the credit cards. Starting balance for the credit cards was $18,149.89. The minimum payments $445.43. So even just looking at this, without even adding in my card payment, like I can see why I was stressed for money all the time and why I was doing cash advances off of my credit cards just to pay my bills. Because looking at these minimum payments, I don't even know how I could pay that on the income I was making at the time. Or, I mean, it's just crazy to me. So my last debt is a car.
Was she gonna keep going? it's not over yet. Holy shit!
Jesus H. Christ.
What? I thought it was over. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Guys, because she's already at. What's her minimum payments? 445.43 plus 578.35. So she's already at $1,022 a month. Oh my God! What? I'm gonna give that a.
Holy Jesus! What is that? What the fuck is that?
Oh my God! Oh, let's keep going. Oh my gosh!
Just gotten a new car when I started this.
She got a new car. Oh my God!
I got a Mazda CX-5, so it was brand new, and probably not the best decision. But my previous car, which was a Nissan, I had leased, and the lease was up, so I had to get a new car. It was either to lease one or to buy one. So I ended up buying the car, and I put money down on it. I think I put like $4,000 down, and then financed the rest. So starting balance was $24,990.45. It did have a 0% interest rate, which was nice, but the minimum payment was $386.38. So in total all the balance, or all the starting balances was $146,872.52, and just my minimum payments, or minimum payments for each month was $1,410.16.
And that's not including rent, you guys. That's not including car insurance, electricity, utilities, any of that, you guys. Oh my goodness.
Jesus H. Christ.
Yikes. And this is America right here, guys, right here. This is modern American women right here.
You know, just for another perspective, this $1,410.16 whatever cents, for a person like myself, that is my food budget for an entire mother effing year. Think about that. Just think about that. Oh my God.
I have a friend, and she's high up in the state of Washington, and she owns two commercial buildings in like Shelton, Washington, which is like outside of Olympia, Washington. It's kind of this like
yeah.
she's like, I'm gonna do a monthly challenge where I don't do any entertainment. I stay home and like I cook my own food. So at the end of July, she had saved $5,340. She's
Yeah.
like, hey, she's like, yeah, most of the time I give myself about $3,000 a month to spend on, entertainment, food, going out. $3,000 a month, you guys.
Wow.
She spends $30,000 a year on who knows what. She's like, yeah, I should do this more often because I saved $5,300 this month. Oh my goodness.
So that's quite a bit. Just looking at it, it's overwhelming for me to see it still. And I've paid off most of it. I've been paying off for a few years, or actually quite a few years. So I've gotten most of it paid off, and I'll do another video saying where I'm at now and how I got there, what I did to get it paid off. But just looking at this on paper is overwhelming to me, and thinking back to where I was at that point, I remember in that time frame feeling very overwhelmed and worrying about if my account would go negative, if I'd have the funds to pay for rent or food or anything. And so I'm not putting this out here to
guys. Paddlefoot Paddlefoot says, I did the same with food. I cooked from scratch. After the first month of stocking the kitchen, it cut around $300 off my food bill. Put when you were broke in college or broke when you just moved out of your parents' house, put your favorite ghetto gourmet meals in the chat, because mine was chili mac. You take the Kraft macaroni and cheese, cook that, and then you pour a can of chili in that bad boy. That's some good eating right there. Or get some macaroni and cheese and cut up some hot dogs and put it in there. Or my go-to, wheat bread, Oscar Mayer turkey, mayonnaise, and Kraft cheese. And then good old malto meal cereal with some milk in it. I lived many weeks on just that. Cereal in the morning and then chili mac at night. Yeah, boy. That's some good eating right there. Oh, man.
Say like, oh, I'm so great for paying off debt or anything like that. But it's just kind of a reminder that you can have a lot of debt and you can make progress and get to a better place. I no longer feel as overwhelmed. Even though I still do have some student loans left to pay. I've paid off all my credit cards, my car's paid off. And just I feel in a much
some student loans, 103,000 is some student loans,
or financially secure position because I paid off this debt. I can't even imagine if I had not paid it off as I've been doing, if I had not started focusing on it. I'm sure the balances would have just grown. It would have probably been, I don't know, double, who knows. Or if I just had kept spending as I was, because obviously if I had $6,000, $8,000, I was spending money on it. You can do it. Everyone starts from somewhere. I started with 100.
Okay, and one more, and then we can wrap it up.
Wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You guys. Let's take one last look at those numbers real fast. Oh my God. This is in the United States of America. This is it, guys. This is modern women right here. Guys, say you were on a date. No, say you were getting to know a woman. You got past the first couple of days. You're to the point where you go over to her house and she cooks you food, you're hanging out and stuff. Then she brings up this kind of debt. What are you going to do? What could you possibly do with this? A kid in the United States costs $280,000 to raise from 0 to 18. She has half a kid right here. Half a kid in debt. Ugh. Paddlefoot says chili mac is a classic. It can be bought at the local corner store too. Yep. Pyro says tin mackerel and white rice. Yep, you got it. Stir fries are always good. Easy to prep meals. Grilled cheese and Campbell's tomato soup, my go-to before I learned to cook. Even better. You want to be high class? Get some grilled cheese with some Chef Boyardee's ravioli. Class it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Dip your grilled cheese in some freaking Chef Boyardee ravioli. That's living life right there, you guys. Okay, let's look at this last girl right here, and then we can wrap it up. My debt payoff journey.
Hey, what's up? It's Annika and welcome back to my channel. It's time for another debt payoff update video for the month of June.
Okay, first off, before we get into this video, look at her channel, you guys. Era's vlog with come with us to see Taylor Swift in London. She went to Disney World to do the Disney Challenge. This is where all her money's going. She bought a new house, you guys. Just wanted to put that into context before we get into her debt video.
Hey, what's up? It's Annika and welcome back to my channel. It's time for another debt payoff update video for the month of June, which actually, did I even do one for May? I don't think I did one for May. I didn't do one for May! Okay, so this can be like a May-June combined. Because I am annoying. Okay. If you're new here, then welcome. I take you along my journey to pay.
Yes, you are. Okay, so look at this, guys.
Oh my God.
Jesus H. Christ.
$20,000 in credit cards. $14,481 for a car. And then what's this? Let me do the math on this real quick. 11,446,109 plus 183,780.25. $195,226.34 in student loans. Oh my God. And you know what? What's this girl's name? Let's see if we can find her on LinkedIn and see what her
I can tell you her name. Her name is Knucklehead McGee. Good Lord.
Okay. So she's a senior product manager at the Walt Disney Company, right? She's been there 5 years. Okay. Okay. So she went to Chapman University. Oh, she has a Bachelor of Science in computer science. Okay, you know what? Let me give her a round of applause on that. Now she did a semester at sea, so that had to cost her. But she only has a bachelor's degree. So let me see. What is it? Tuition for Chapman University. Oh my God, guys! It is $60,000 a year to go to Chapman University. Holy shit! Why is Chapman so expensive? Look at this. Oh my God. $60,672 a year. Oh my God. What is going on? Anyway, I'll get into that later. But yeah. Crazy.
Paying off over $229,000 in debt. But my debt is actually moving to the back burner for a little bit because if you've kept up with my channel, then you know I've had a couple exciting house hunting videos come out. And at the time that I'm filming this, I am under contract for a new build home that is set to be ready in the next few months. So I'm super stoked and all my energy has kind of been shifted towards that. So I dive into a little bit deeper of like the process, why that happened, everything in those house hunting videos, as well as my July budget video. So make sure you go ahead and check those videos out and subscribe to my channel if you are not already. But again, with those things happening, I'm training for the Dopey Challenge. I just started a little podcast series called Running on Pixie Dust. Make sure you check out that playlist that is linked on my channel, and I'll link it above here too. But things are happening. We're moving and shaking. It's insane. I was out of town for May, basically. I went to Disneyland, and then June was crazy, and then a house came out, and
all this with $200,000. No, wait. How much was it again? I'm on 137. What was that at?
229 and what? 230.
She's doing all this stuff with $229,000 in debt. And that's the craziest part about these modern women, guys. They just act like it doesn't exist. And she isn't. Look, if she worked for like a government agency or something, I can see it. But she works at the private sector. She works for Disney, so she's never going to get any kind of relief at all, like none.
interest is not accruing, and the due date for that has been pushed back. So hopefully it just pushes back to death. So I'm just pretending that one doesn't exist, pretty much. But my big
hold on, let's go back.
debt payoff update video. I was out of town for May, basically. I went to Disneyland, and then June was crazy, and then a house came out. And so anyway, let's just jump right into it. Since I skipped a May debt payoff update video, I will be sharing that. All I have left for my major debts are my student loans, one of which is my federal loan, and I have not been paying that because interest is not accruing, and the due date for that has been pushed back. So hopefully it just pushes back to death. So I'm just pretending that one doesn't exist, pretty much. But my big mama private student loan, I'm still making payments to her.
Yep. She is going to pretend like all that doesn't exist. You heard it. You heard it. In fact, this was October of 20. You know what? Let's cap this off by going to her latest one. Let me see. Okay. So this was 10 months ago. Let's see where she's at.
Hey, what's up? It's Annika, and welcome back.
And what's with that makeup in the center of her eyes? What's that about? I don't know.
To my debt-free journey. I honestly, I don't
Okay.
even remember what my YouTube intro was because it's been so long since I do these. I did just record a budget video, and that is posted for October, and I also explained there that it's been a while. It's been a hot minute, but it's okay. It's okay. Every little thing is gonna be all right. But anyways, welcome back to another debt payoff video. I have been doing my best. Sometimes that's all we can do. It is what it is. So yeah, but I did go through, and I still have my spreadsheets. There's still debt payoff happening in the background, even though I haven't been sharing every step of the way. It's mainly because I haven't honestly been going out of my way to do extra things for my debt journey. Truthfully, I think I've shared on here, I did get
At least she's honest.
a car, and I did take a car loan. I know. Okay, but no regrets. Truthfully, I love my car, and it makes me so much happier. And happiness in my daily life is a priority for me. So there's that, and it's my money anyway. So yeah. Anyway, just had to start off with that. But I have updated my tracker. I've got my car loan, I've got my federal student loan, and I have my private student loan, and have kind of had to manipulate it because I added in the car loan to make sure that my debt payoff is still counting accurately, and my total is still totaling. So with that,
Okay, get to the numbers, Daniel. Let's go.
Let's get into it. I'm gonna scoot over here, and let's bring in the dancing lobsters. Okay, Amanda Show reference if you didn't know. But okay, we've got the spreadsheet. Let's do it.
Okay, so she went from 229,000 to 186,973. Is that right?
I don't even know the last time I did an update. I'd have to go look on my YouTube channel. But let's see. I started in 2020. My starting total balance was $229,949.88. That's a big mama. That's a lot of debt, with the majority of it being my private student loan that I have now refinanced 3 times. So
she's refinanced it 3 times, you guys. 3 freaking times. Yep. Colin, you put it in the chat. All those ears on the wall are trips to Disney that probably cost around $2,000-$3,000 a piece.
Yeah.
And you see all those run medals on the wall, guys. I was doing 50 half marathons in 50 states before COVID shut down all the races. I have 17 states down, each time I got on a plane to do a run, it was between $1,500 to $2,200 each time. So, yep.
There's been a lot of motion happening. I paid off my car that I did have, and now I got a new car, which I'm really happy with it. And there's like one little thing happening with Apple CarPlay that makes me upset, but it makes commuting so much more fun for me, and all of the features. Oh, it makes me just so happy, and I'm like still happy with the decision, and like I don't care that I had to take a little loan for it. So I'm truthfully hoping that maybe some year-end bonuses are going to come around, and I can.
Oh God.
So
There you go, guys. A hope and a prayer. That's what it's all about. A hope and a prayer. Yikes.
I started off. Let's see. I have like little notes in my spreadsheet. Let's see. Coming into 2022, my private student loan balance was $148,766.10. So I had made a lot of headway there. I think. Oh, I have my other tabs open too. It's been a while since I honestly went through this. Let's take a little trip down memory lane just really quick. I had all of my credit cards and my old car, as well as my federal and private student loans.
So she's at 180. Yeah, so she's at 100. She started this year with 186,973, and she thinks that she's gonna get all this paid off by May of 2026. Is she crazy?
Oh God.
This is modern women, you guys. This is modern women right here. It's crazy, man. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up because we've been going for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Colin, any final words about women who don't like their man's hobbies?
Oh boy. I think most importantly of all, I think what men need to remember above all else is that women, they cannot stand it when a man, whether it's their husband, boyfriend, and I'll flat out say it, even their own child, if they are happy, peaceful, content, contempt, women cannot stand it, and they will manipulate. You guys know what I'm saying. You guys get it. So
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that. So
yeah, for me, guys, you may have to, if you have kids and stuff, you're gonna have to moderate it. Everything's good in moderation, but you got to make sure that you toe the line between your hobbies and then just doing everything that your woman says, because your woman wants you to give up, wants you to keep showing her based upon her feelings that you care and that you want to spend time with her. But sometimes you're gonna have to put your damn foot down.
yeah.
Women think that sports are gonna somehow disappear. It's not going to happen. Video games. We're in the 8th console generation right now, but PCs are more affordable than ever. Guys are going to play video games. It's just how it is. And I put on my on my community page. Let me share again. Present real quick. Share. I'm on the moon. Remember, guys, sometimes independence and peace starts like this. Usually there's a gaming console right there. Right next to the TV, guys. You know what I'm saying? Don't get nagged for any of that crap. Don't let a woman convince you that her reality is the only reality that could exist in the house. Don't do it, guys. Anyway, so yeah, I might I'll put a post on the community page tomorrow about when I'm gonna go live next. Thank you for all the super chats. I appreciate Paddlefoot. Thanks for joining. Frenchie, thanks for joining. Colin, thanks for being on the call. I appreciate it. Carlos X, Ragey Gamer, Whiteout, Pyro, Dante's Inferno Purgatory. Who else was here? I said Frenchie already. Jessica, thanks for being on. I appreciate it. Anyway, all you guys, thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you on the next one. Okay.
All right, thank you, Doug. Appreciate you guys.
Yep. See ya. Bye. I want